And we are live. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. This is the SuperBoss Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harrison Ngo, and I'm joined by Ian Eatwell
Hello.
and Luc Tran.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
I feel like I
Hello.
haven't seen you guys in a while,
Dude, it's been a hot minute.
but it's only been like a week.
Yeah.
2 weeks since it's 2 weeks since the last episode, but a week since I've like seen you guys.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely feels that way.
And it feels like nothing's happened. It feels like both I've missed everything and I didn't miss anything at all because you know what exactly happens in a week. But it turns out in the week I was gone that Ian, you finished the main story for Base Stormblood. And Harrison's almost done. And when I left, you guys were one dungeon or one trial into Stormblood.
Yeah. Yeah.
People
I
At least
guess-
I was. Harrison was a little behind.
I think I just started. I think I either got out the first dungeon and maybe barely started.
Yeah.
But really quick, let me finish this. Because if you're new, what we talk about here just ranges from movies, comics to video games, as you can tell. But honestly, whatever we talk about is whatever. And you can watch every episode on youtube.com or listen to it as a podcast by searching up SuperBoss Podcast on any podcast service of your choice, because podcasts. Anyway, sit back and relax, and we continue to talk about Final Fantasy.
For now.
14.
For now.
We got so many things to talk about.
Got all the things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it feels like it's been a hot minute. Like, I feel like in 1 week, I didn't realize how fast like we finished Stormblood, or Ian finished Stormblood. I'm about to finish it. So Luke.
Well, it's especially weird too because we took a little while to finish Heaven's Word.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm just like, when I talk about the expansion, like, oh, when I say Stormblood, or more importantly, when I say Heaven's Word, I think of the entire Heaven's Word experience, including post. You guys haven't done post Stormblood yet.
That's true.
Which is when things start to get kind of spicy.
Yeah.
And I say that every expansion, but build up to
progressively gets
Shadowbringers is very cool, and I like it a lot.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Ian, I thought you started post.
Oh, that's true. I did.
Yeah.
I'm like
you and our editor started. So
yeah, me and our editor have been
blitzing
plowing through the stories. But it's been all right. I see why people don't like the story of Stormblood as much. But it's still, it's still entertaining. So
I think it's still I love the areas though. Like, I will say, I love.
they're really cool.
Kagane is like one of the cooler cities, if anything. I think it's just, unless it's just me weeping out, I can't tell. But in all honesty, because I'm already playing. It's funny because I'm already playing Ninja, so like I've heard some of these like the themes and like some of the songs already from the Ninja story. So like for me, not a lot of it's new. But there are times where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But then there are times where, haha, I've heard this already. But that's cool.
It's the only city I know of where there's like, I guess it just feels more alive because there's like jumping puzzles and stuff you can do in the city too. And that's kind of fun.
What? Wait, really?
Yeah. So the middle tower.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The
Okay.
big one.
Yeah.
You can actually climb that.
There's an achievement for doing it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you mean like, is that in the other area? Not like the city, right? Or am I crazy?
No, it's in the city. Kugane.
Yeah, it's the Kugane Tower.
I've been trying to like grind through MSQ just to get to 80s, and then actually I'll go back and do stuff. That's my plan so far.
It's the age-old adage of like, oh, I beat the game. Now I can actually play the game.
You can experience.
Because I will say this. I still want to mount farm. That's what I want to do. Yes. I will.
Good luck.
That's the monotony I'm craving.
I want the big gorilla.
It's like
the big gorilla that just holds you and runs with it in your hand. Yeah.
I just think it's funny. We're all grinding for different things.
Yeah.
Because Harrison's grinding for, or he wants to grind for mounts. Ian, you're grinding for this
Oh
random
my
piece. Like
god!
it's not even a like super meta item. It's just I want that.
Because it looks
Yeah,
cool.
I want. So I got it too. By the way,
Oh,
Oh,
I
you
got
did?
it. Yeah.
How's your brain?
Oh, dude. The crafting in this game gets more
Monotonous.
fun the further along you are. But in the beginning, when you have like no skills, it's something. What
See,
I
like,
wanted was the Sky Builder's singlet, which is basically just a tank top.
Oh, yeah, that's
Uh,
right.
There's two actually, and I want the other one too. There's the Sky Builder's one, and then the Crafter's singlet, which has like little like a hoodie wrapped around the waist, which is
Ooh.
just style. It's style. But yeah, like because so with the gathering and stuff, you eventually unlock skills where it's like you get 2 for every time you try to gather a resource, and only getting 1 actually is quite abysmal. But it's all right. I have it. I
It's
can
like
rest
it's
now.
crazy to me about crafting
Mhm.
because like crafting is an entirely different game.
Yeah.
Because have you done a lot of both crafting and gathering, or only gathering? And this is for both of you guys.
I've done a lot of the crafting, and I just started.
The
Well, I'm
gathering.
level like 40 now in
Okay.
mining.
Harrison, have you done any of the other? Okay.
Nope, I haven't.
But yeah, it's an entirely different game because just like any other class, like you unlock skills as they go.
Mhm.
But what really annoys me, and I think like combat classes progression of skills feels for the most part more cohesive, but for crafting, you just get these random skills and they're super important because you have a crafting rotation, which is really funny. But
Mm,
some of the
Oh.
skills you unlock don't matter because I have blacksmithing, and one
Mhm.
of the skills I have is do nothing. You're like, well, I
yeah.
would never pick this, but like, when you're end game blacksmithing at like level 70 plus, that's one of the most important skills. And I'm just sitting
Yeah.
there scratching my head of like, but why?
I think it's because like sometimes the material has a chance of being like
Yeah,
poor,
like
excellent,
there are
good.
there's a mechanical
Yeah.
reason why, but
But it's
it's just so bizarre that they introduce do nothing skill so early for
yeah.
black because
Oh,
I haven't done
yeah.
the other ones, but like
Yeah, I get you.
blacksmithing. At
Yeah.
blacksmithing, you learn it at I think somewhere in the 20s,
Mhm.
and you don't really use it until you're 50 plus.
Yeah.
But I think because for the most part, I think in a lot of these MMO games, and when I say I mean like WoW, Guild Wars, Elder Scrolls. I don't know too much about Star Wars, but it feels like crafting is just kind of a like, yeah, you can craft, but it's never gonna do much for you. Not either. It's either or it'll neither give you best in slot or have particularly good fashion.
Mhm.
But I feel like crafting in Final Fantasy feels you don't necessarily get best in slot, but it's at least like a really easy way to make money and you have some cool fashion.
Uh-huh.
So it's nice that crafting is not forgotten.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say at least because the most I got into crafting was in Guild Wars actually.
Mhm.
At least with that one, I think Guild Wars gives you the chance because Guild Wars was more flexible in how they let people get end game stuff. So if anything, like if you didn't want to raid or do PvP, crafting was the other way, and sometimes the best way.
Okay.
So it was one of the like if you want to put in the time and if you have the money, then go for it. Because essentially there's routes on how you go about it, but there's like a thing where end game stuff would most time you can just craft it and it's fine. But that's because by
Okay.
the end because well that's just because like that's just the nature of Guild Wars I think in that like it was flexible enough in letting you how you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like it gives you different avenues. Like for those that don't like raiding, you don't have to, or you don't have a group. Then here's your other way. So I think crafting was just like one of those like pathways to get end game stuff. So that's what I did appreciate with that. I've heard from like our other people in our group that like for Final Fantasy it is just like the second half of the game, and that's like if you want to invest time into that, and to do all that.
Yeah, because a lot of the game I think is kind of gate kept by money, and crafting is the easiest way to get money, and so it's like, if you effectively want to do the role play part for the RPG, then you go into crafting. If you just want gameplay and mechanics, then you don't have to do any of that, which is nice. But
cool. You know what? I was wrong. I did do fishing, but that was only because I was in the area. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I think I was like level 20, and I never went back. I was like, cool, because I was just trying to like do stuff in the meantime. And I was like, oh, I can do the next part of the quest. Okay, bye.
I'm here for a little bit. Goodbye.
Yeah. Or I think I was waiting on something. I was like, okay, cool. But that was it. Now that I think about it.
I hear the fishing's great. I haven't tried it either. But
I heard isn't there like fishing raids? Like legit?
Yeah,
right.
That's so
I think
cool.
It's either it is deep sea fishing or it's related to deep sea fishing, but they have raids.
That's great. I think that's hilarious.
It just makes me think of there was the fishing trawler in RuneScape that was poorly designed, and I wished it wasn't, because I think that kind of thing would be really fun.
It's hilarious. Is like I never played RuneScape, but every time you guys talk about certain things, I've heard about it enough that I know what. Like you said that, I'm like, I know what you're talking about. Did I ever do it?
Fishing trawler,
but I remember hearing about it.
I don't know if I played during that or if it was just something I never did.
It was members only. I think.
That's what it was.
There was a brief window in time where it was semi worth it to go fishing, like go on the fishing trawler, because you could get. It's like I think you could get manta rays, which healed a lot, and then eventually I think when you could get karambawan, which were easier to get and healed about the same, then no one did the fishing trawler.
It has become obsolete.
Yeah, it was a for fun game that no one thought was fun. So,
but that's Final Fantasy. We're gonna move on because that.
So we don't become a Final Fantasy podcast.
Like that one time we were a Destiny podcast.
Yeah.
Sunk 500 hours in like 3 months or something.
Christ.
And now that game is dead to us.
Love that. Ian, what have you been up to?
That. So guess we're talking about more Final Fantasy.
No, you played something. I'm still.
You don't want to talk about Loop Hero?
Yeah, no.
And how it's a trash game. You just walk in a circle. Terrible game. Terrible game. I don't have 100 hours on it. It's a terrible game.
Actually, I don't know how many hours. Oh, okay, I got 45 hours.
You can get a lot, especially when you play Necromancer, where it just eventually like go forth and be an infinite stat check.
Yeah.
Then
Dude, I was surprised how long just a single loop can take, or not a single loop, but a single run can take, because it could take like an hour and a half or so if you're getting like good loot and stuff. But yeah, Loop Hero was super fun. I think the first when I bought it and first like sat down to play it, that was my whole evening. It was just like 5 hours of that, and I was like, this is so fun. And then there was like the night after I had stayed up like a little too late playing it, and it was like woke up in the morning dead zombie, but it was worth it.
What are you talking about? It
was so fun. What is sleep
for The
um,
no, is this the
but yeah,
jog my memory? Is this like the deck building one? Is that the one? Am I remembering
It's
correctly?
yeah,
no.
kind of.
No.
It's so
yeah,
track.
no.
No, well, yeah. So it's a track, and you have a little hero guy, and he runs around the track, and then
Right.
you get cards,
Oh,
that you can play stuff
Yeah,
on the
you
track.
basically build your map.
Yeah.
okay.
And you get to like plan before you go out onto the track.
Gotcha.
And so you get
Okay.
to choose like what you get to choose your deck of like stuff that you
Mhm.
can
And
get from
it basically
like, killing
comprises
enemies and
of
stuff.
landmarks that will certain landmarks spawn certain enemies,
Mhm.
and then certain
Gotcha.
landmarks interact with each other to make special landmarks.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's the cool stuff, man. It's been a while since I played a game that has like stuff like that where it doesn't explicitly tell you
Yeah, it's
anything.
like kind of a
but
hidden
you-
thing.
Yeah, you just kind of like find stuff out by playing around and experimenting with it. It's pretty great. I'll do like a small spoiler that just might be kind of interesting and make people want to try it. Let's see. It's when I unlocked a card called Forest card, and then I also unlocked a card called Storm Temple. And forests give you your character like base attack speed. And so I had like a line of forests, and I just unlocked the storm card, so I wanted to try it out. And I placed it down somewhere, and I lost like an entire row of trees that I built that was all attack speed because they all burned down from the lightning. I was like, what? What did I
Yep.
do?
That happens.
But it was all right because I got like 0.5 per like, it's all like squares too, right? It's all like tiles.
Yeah.
So per like tile of trees, I got like 0.5 pure damage. So it's really like cool, weird interactions like that you can mess around with. But yeah,
have you
it's really fun.
beaten it yet?
No, I
Okay.
got to the third boss, and it was bullshit because I beat him,
Mm-hmm.
but not everybody in that battle. So I lost because I died after I beat him. I was so mad. But it's fun.
That's probably, I think, out of all the roguelikes I've played, Loopure is probably the worst when it comes to dying. Because you spend so much time, it's like, God. Because like you said, like a run can take upwards of an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you play with fire, you're gonna lose all your shit.
Like when I played
FTL's pretty rough, but that's because you don't
it was
get
pretty
like
rough.
You don't get like base increases of stuff.
Yeah, it is the most roguey roguelike.
Yeah.
But I mean, Hades doesn't feel Hades like it was your fault because you were being dumb.
Yeah, there's no real RNG with that. I mean, there's a little bit, but
there is RNG, but you can manipulate it pretty heavily.
Yeah.
And then like Spelunky is never felt that bad.
That game's so fun. But yeah, it also in Loop here you can you like build your base up. So you start with like a little campfire, and then you get to like build it out, put down some like watchtowers, a blacksmith, and it all does like different stuff too. It's a really fun game that people should check out. It's kind of old-ish, right? It came out this year, but
yeah, it came out like a few months ago, didn't it? I remember hearing about it.
It came into 1.0, I think.
That's what it was. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I remember it became 1.0 like this year.
So the official like release of it was
initial release was March 4th, so it's been out for a little while.
Okay.
Now I remember. Yeah, I remember hearing about it this year, but yeah, it was because it was 1.0. The drop.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember if the mod scene has started picking up or not, but that's the other thing too, where kind of like in Risk of Rain, where like you kind of, the game goes smoothly, you know what you're doing,
Mhm.
and then checking out mods is really fun. Because I've been thinking about going back because Ian started playing Loop Hero. I was like, maybe I'll go back and play with mods this time.
Yeah. Dude, getting like a game like that, like Loop Hero or I mean even Skyrim really, but just like having like a really good mod scene for a game is so nice.
Yeah, it's like,
'Cause-
oh yeah, here's a free, completely new game.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Can we talk about because you mentioned it, Ian, it's all your fault in this one. Can we
Oh,
talk
no.
about Skyrim? Like, there's one
Yeah.
guy in our Discord
Oh
where
no.
he was like, he brought it up. How were you in that call? I know Ian
Uh-huh.
was. I think I don't know if
Oh,
Luke was
yeah.
there at that point.
I don't
Oh, which one?
You might have been out of town. So he was like talking about how like, oh, he down you. I think you brought up that there's like this all-in-one pack for mods, right?
For Skyrim?
For Skyrim.
Yeah, you
yes.
can get Wabbit Jack.
So I don't think it's the same one he was talking about now, though. I don't
know.
know.
He's talking about it was called like Skyrim Live or Living.
Yeah.
What's this?
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
I know Luke knows of it, but I don't think it was the same one.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So he brought that up, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And he said, like, then he talked about how big it was, and I was like, "How big?" He was like, "It's like 60 gig." I was like,
Yeah. Like,
I
just
do
re-download Skyrim real quick.
dude. I was like, that gave me like I had flashbacks, and I'm like, I remember like trying to min-max my storage, and I was like, "Oh, how many mods can I get in here?" Then I realized how much storage I've been wasting. I was like, "Oh my god, time to delete a lot of stuff."
Oh,
Mhm.
Living Skyrim. That's what it's
Living Skyrim. That's it. Yes.
called. Yeah.
I mean,
it sounds insane. We got to watch him play a little bit of it.
Oh yeah. I
It
think I
looked
left at that point. I think I
Oh, okay. Yeah. And he was streaming it a little bit.
Yeah, I think
and it
yeah.
was pretty wild from the get go.
I think it was probably honestly I leave just to like play the story on like on MSQ. So I just it's just me. I'm like listening. It's like because I pay
Get
attention.
invested.
Luke. I don't skip cutscenes.
Yeah, who would do that?
Friend.
Imagine.
Imagine skipping the cutscenes.
Luke, what have you
We
been up to? Oh
yeah.
Yeah. What? Ian? Oh, wait,
Nope.
what?
We're moving on. Luke, what have you been up to?
Mm.
I'm gonna start tomorrow, but a new dating sim visual novel came out last week.
Which one? Which one is it?
It's called Boyfriend Dungeon.
Yep, I knew it. I knew it.
I've heard
Yes.
I heard about it.
The people have spoken. Hey, we don't want to date people. People suck. Dealing with them is annoying. I want to date a weapon. They spoke to me. Like, have you ever wanted to date your sword? Yes. How about all of them? All the weapons? Like, of course. Yes.
Man.
I cannot wait. What's really cool, I found this out after the game came out. It's the same developers who made Moon Hunters, which was it's a pixel couch co-op story game, which I really liked.
Yeah,
Although,
that game was awesome.
I'm mad because there's the PC version of Moon Hunters, which has way more content than the console ones, and I got really upset because I ended up getting it on my PS4 because it was a couch co-op game, but it's same developers. But it's nice just because it's not like what you would expect of a dating sim where it's like, oh, here's the woo person and here's the super edgy dark goth I hate you when you're gonna crack open my cold heart. It's from the very little I've seen of the writing, it's very tongue-in-cheek, which I like. It's almost like along the same lines of like a Monster Prom or a Monster Camp, where it's like everybody kind of gets that it's not meant to be serious, it's meant to be fun. And there are serious dating sims, but the fun ones are where I have lots of enjoyment. But I'm playing that tomorrow. Honestly, not a lot of gaming news for me. it's all like media, other media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
literally
I mean,
everything else.
you guys know how much I really like, how much I've been excited for Eternals, and the last trailer dropped today, and I think it's good that this is the last trailer, and also
when does that come out again?
November 12th, somewhere in November. But and especially with they've had 2 trailers, right? And a lot of those trailers were they had the teaser
November
and then they
5th.
had the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And the first trailer was, hey, let's set up very, very broadly who the Eternals are.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the big thing was, if the Eternals are these, amazingly superheroes, why didn't they do anything for Thanos? And like a minute into this final trailer, they address it. I was like, like they
know. They knew.
Like everything about this movie feels cool because they can address a lot of what. Oh, and Ian, have you seen Loki?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen Loki yet, so I'm gonna make a few assumptions. But it's really cool to see how Marvel movies are addressing the universe post Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly what I mean is like the post snap. And they talk about it a little bit. And they are setting up some really cool things. And I'm really excited.
Mm-hmm. Same. Yeah.
And
yeah, Loki sets up insanity. It's just, you're like, oh, okay. I'm going to strap myself in here real quick because this is about to get bumpy.
I apologize because like I'm doing reacts later for this. That's the only reason why Luke has to tiptoe around everything. That's otherwise I think our editor said he's gonna play it.
I don't want to talk about the trailer. Like I don't want to nitpick everything.
Yeah.
But
so I've heard a lot of people now are like, I'm way more hyped for this movie.
Well,
are you in that camp now?
I think because I've always been hyped. I was gonna say
you always. Yeah.
I think they just do a really good job of setting up the movie's overall plot, which I think is important because even in like the Eternals, like the Eternals in Marvel they don't have like a lot of mainstream comic lines. And so I think it's important for people to get a hint of like, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And there's so many things about I'm not going to gush too much, but so many things just look super cool. And it's these like really small details where people even talked about, like, I'm on the fence about the character design. I don't really like those like bodysuits they have. But then someone talked about was like, this is like as classical superheroes you're gonna get. Like for most of MCU, it was more of like, oh, this is like with Captain America.
The modern.
It's like, okay, the first suit was very much, this was meant for a play, this is a show. And then as Captain America went on as a character, it becomes more tactical.
Yeah.
It wasn't, because I think this is 2 things I know from Loki and WandaVision. So bit of a spoiler, but they show off the like classic costumes for both Scarlet Witch and Loki. Yeah. And it's kind of feels like that way with the Eternals. We're like, oh yeah, like this is the suit. There's no earthified or humanized. It's like, I think it helps separate like, yeah, they're aliens and their suits are gonna look kind of funky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Like it's
Mhm.
funny because it's like for WandaVision still had like the Captain America effect where it was a gag or it was like here's an Easter egg. While like
Mhm.
Loki was like here's the legitimate here's the legit
Yeah,
OG
this is
it's like
Loki.
legit, but it's
Yeah,
Loki. Um
and I think
yeah.
like the original Eternals also they look ridiculous. So I think this is I think a good medium of we're staying true to the like larger than life comic book feeling while not making it like, oh, this is just a bodysuit and you can see
Mhm.
pouches where they keep stuff. It's like, no, this is
Yeah.
like this is what they're gonna wear.
Yep. Yeah.
And it was cool to see, and this is mainly me coming off of I saw the latest superhero thing I saw was Suicide Squad or The Suicide Squad. And it was nice just to see in the trailer, and people always talked about this with the director, Chloe. I do not remember her last, Chloe Zhao. But
Oh,
it's like, oh, she comes from like traditional directing, blah blah. Like the lighting looks so natural. It was nice to see some of the shots looking kind of like a natural shot. There's a scene in the trailer where I think Icarus is fighting something,
mhm.
and it's like it's just an overcast day. There's no like super saturated light. There's not a light filter,
Oh,
and it all looks
yeah.
really nice.
Mhm.
And there's like two other things. Can we pull up? It's the latest official poster for the Eternals. I want to talk about the poster for a little bit, just because I'm gonna talk about it.
Cause I'm
Not that one. It's
the most recent one, right?
that one. That poster right there.
Ooh.
Can we get like full screen or something? I want to just talk about because I think it's only fresh in my mind because obviously it was Endgame and Infinity War, but Marvel has a poster style where it's the big bad in the middle and the cast spread out under.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. They do.
And it kind of infiltrated a lot of mainstream posters where even like I think Blade Runner had like it didn't have a villain, but it was like the characters' faces kind of like layered down. But I really like this poster because one, this is like it's a full cast with body shots, and you usually don't see that.
Yeah.
But oh, audio.
Audio. Uh-oh.
But yeah, like this trailer just is really nice because it steps away from what you would expect a standard Marvel trailer to look like. It has the full cast. They're not looking at you. And there's
Pretty
like
decent.
a bit of dynamics going. Like no one's just like superhero pose. Like yeah, Icarus looks weird because he's like his arms and fists are down, but like you can see people walking, and yeah,
Oh,
this is
okay.
what they're.
I
And
was
then with
about
the
to. I was about to say this is also weird for a movie poster because it's like long, but
Yeah.
okay.
No, this is
Now
the
we see
one.
the
This is
yeah,
the one.
that's the full one. It's like it's got the names and that's the title, but like it's nice to see that. And another thing too that kind of caught me by surprise, and I didn't really think about until I saw the poster, is that the Eternals are like a pretty big cast,
Yeah.
and it feels ambitious that they are like, here's 10 characters you've never heard of, and they're all in the same movie. And yeah, they're not all going to get screen time because even within the Eternals, there's maybe 4 who are like the main ones.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
It's
Here's
it's gonna be
what's
interesting.
weird about
Yeah.
why does it say all the names and then with Kit
that's
Harington with
some
this person?
weirdness.
Huh.
Because even when they do like the other Marvel movies, they have the cast, and then it's always with Samuel L. Jackson. So I think it might have to do with like a
Those
prestige thing, or like just a level. I honestly
Or
don't
maybe
know.
it's like like they're treated as like side characters, but because they're big stars, you still want to like put them on the.
Well, it's weird because
Yeah,
like
I think
you have Angelina Jolie there, and like she's a pretty
Right.
big name.
yeah, but I think I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
remember
just saying like
how much
maybe
screen time
they're
she'll
like
have.
gonna focus on the top
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, the
Oh,
top
than
few are the
like,
main ones
side
you'll be
characters.
following along with. Because I don't
Yeah.
like, for instance, Kit Harington's character. I don't think it's gonna be. He's not like a big focal point, but he's in it because there's a big. His character is kind of, it's big, but not. I don't know how. I think it's the way they're gonna frame it in the movie. That's the thing. So
I think that's
That's
fair.
what I was
yeah,
guessing. But
yeah,
interesting.
because I think that's what it is. It's like they're big names, but I think the part. That's the thing. I don't know if that's like how
Like
big of a part.
they're not featured.
Yeah,
That's fair. I think
it's
that's a fair
yeah. I
assumption.
think that's what it is. Yeah,
Anyways,
because
I agree. The poster does look cool.
Yeah, it's just really
it's actually I agree with Luke. It's very refreshing because it's always like that. There's like that stock, and if you look up any Marvel movie, it's exactly what he says. It's like here's the
you're
big
gonna
bad,
see
or it's the hero. Here's the hero in the middle, and then the title in like 2/3 down. If you get it, like if you look at Black Widow, Shang-Chi, or any of them, that's like a thing, or like yeah. So I agree. It's
a
aesthetically
lot
pleasing.
of the like Marvel movies do the same thing as like the Star Wars movies too, where it's like
Do you
Yeah, I
think that's
guess
because? Do you think that's because that happened when they transferred to Disney? Would you say that with the
well,
old
no,
ones?
no,
because I
because
think
they did it for the old ones too.
the old
Yeah, I guess.
Original.
Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back, I remember had like you had Luke Skywalker like off to the side but with a lightsaber up.
Yeah.
Like it was definitely framed in the like upwards middle.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking of a different poster. You're right. Now I'm looking at. Yeah. 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 Marvel's copying. How could they? They're
But
the
yeah,
worst.
Eternals looks really good and I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
All
I'm
of this
excited
to
for
lead
that.
up to I want a Nova movie. God damn it.
Dude,
I want Nova.
they're being Marvel's being very tight lit. Can't talk today.
Tight-lipped.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, about a lot of things. But
Yeah.
which is what's new. But yeah, I agree. I want to see that. But if anything, we'll probably see something with Guardians 3. So we'll see. I think
Yeah.
that's when they'll probably drop it. Because that would make the most sense. If it's not going to be here, it's going to be there. It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
think Nova would be a part of the Eternals
Yeah.
because
Would it?
it's definitely, I think, help. They're establishing a lot of the bigger world in Eternals, and I think throwing in another relatively unknown character in Eternals would be kind of hard to do.
And
Like
if
you
anything,
could pull it off in Thor because everybody knows Guardians, everybody knows Thor. If you introduce, oh, here's Adam Warlock and here's Nova, it's easier than keeping up with like 14 new characters they talk about in Eternals.
Essentially. Well, and they're more related to like the Guardians anyway. So
Yeah.
or I would associate them. Yeah.
And then this is unrelated to Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
It's better, and that's only because I'm not biased at all. But the last Evangelion rebuild came out last weekend.
Oh.
And I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it came out.
Wait, really? Oh shit.
I know you guys don't watch Evangelion. I don't know if our fans watch Evangelion.
I've watched Evangelion.
Did you watch the rebuilds though?
No.
I didn't even know those were out yet, honestly. So there we go.
I mean, the rebuilds were supposed to be done in like 2012 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So the Evangelion 3+1 has been delayed for a while, but it finally came out.
That's what it was. Okay. I see like the picture and I was okay, now I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I had some feelings after that. It was very meta. And I think that's why I liked it.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend too much time because you guys haven't seen the rebuilds.
Yeah.
But if anybody's listening who is on the fence, if anybody is listening to this podcast who's a fan of Evangelion, hasn't seen the rebuilds, and is on the fence about watching the rebuilds, watch the rebuilds. I'll say that. It was like lately, and when I say lately, I mean in the past 10 years. Just think about all the kind of series we've gone through between, I mean, we've had Final Fantasy. I'm thinking of just big series in general. Final Fantasy, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, like Supernatural, like all these huge things. Can you guys think of any that have given you like a really final sense of closure? Because things end, yeah. They have season finales, they have series finales, but something that's definitively like, I am done, I'm walking away no more.
There probably has been, and I probably don't remember, because that's the issue with a lot of stuff nowadays, right?
Yeah.
It's always the end, but people are always like, oh, I want more. And now, like, a lot of production is like, okay, we're gonna kind of leave it to where, oh, it could continue. So I think that's the issue. So I probably have, but I don't. But right now,
my brain just goes to like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
My brain just goes to like really old stuff, like the Star Wars trilogies, or like the first trilogy. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's all I needed. And then they came out with prequels, and at the end of that, I was like, okay, cool. That's all I want. Like, I don't like stop, please.
Yeah.
And then it kept going. But Lord of the Rings, the first trilogy was great. That closure.
Mm-hmm. But The Hobbit.
I'm trying to think of like recent stuff.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
What are you talking about? Hobbit had 3 movies. That was great.
Hobbit. It did. It did.
And you were saying, like, in terms of like, Luke, sorry, like anything besides the ones you listed, right? Like,
I mean, just anything. Because like the big thing is, it is really hard, I think, to use Evangelion as an example. One, because I'm super biased, and so I know a lot more of like everything around Evangelion, I think, than you guys. But the big thing is that Evangelion was like a super personal work to the director. And so maybe you're not going to get that sense of closure from a lot of other people. But also, because the director, Ano, said, like, if someone else picked up Evangelion, you know, I wouldn't be upset. But like for me, my time, my effort, my life in this is done. And it was just like the finality of just that, and then the way it ended too was very like, okay, that's it.
That's it. Now that you bring it up, now like I heard about it, but like I didn't, because I'm not super deep. I was like, oh, cool, Evangelion, but I didn't realize that was okay. I knew that there was like a part that was been delayed for so long, and I didn't. Now that you remind me, I was like, oh shit, that was the one. So, and it's funny because I was talking to one of our other friends, because she was curious about it, because I'm like, I'm not the one to ask, but in all honesty, I've only heard good things. I'm like she asked about it. I was like, I'm the wrong dude to ask, man.
Starts with the V.
Yeah. So it's on her list, but I think she was just curious about it, because I only brought it up because it's on Netflix now. That's why, or the series. No, like
anybody
the
watching.
No, the anime.
Anybody, do not watch the Netflix version.
Oh,
do not watch the Netflix version. It is terrible.
What, did they just cut a bunch of stuff out?
Yeah, that's what.
Well, backtracking. Does that person watch in dub or sub?
Sub.
I think still don't watch anyway. I think
Like,
what
did they alter
happened,
it? Did they alter
the
it?
script got changed a lot.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm not gonna get on a big platform or anything, but they rewrote a lot of dialogue between two male characters to make it less homoerotic, which is not what the original scene was about. But the original scene and the original dialogue was very much of like,
Oh, I remember this now.
I as a male character love you, a male character, and then it's in the new script, it's like, I appreciate you. It's just like it.
Oh, okay.
There's so much impact in the original lines that is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's why I was curious. I'm like, I didn't
Andy.
know like how much they altered it because I was like,
A,
there's
a
something in my
lot
head that
because
like,
it's not. It's pervasive throughout the entire series on Netflix. The script changed a lot.
gotcha.
They
Okay,
they 4-kidsed it.
they
Yeah.
fork.
Yeah.
Oh,
For anybody who still gets that joke, yes, they did a 4 kids.
Unfortunate.
oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, that's good to know because like I remember like she asked about it, and something in my head was like alarm bells was going. I was like, there's something about this that I'm like, I don't remember, but you just reminded. I was like, okay, yes. So
I
it is
don't know
altered.
if they're gonna. I don't know if they'll like Evangelion. I don't know if they'll get Evangelion. I would be very. You on your other podcast should see about doing an entire series reaction watch through or something,
Okay.
because
Oh, so now we're just gonna say,
that
yeah,
would
it's Veronica
be,
from my other podcast.
yeah,
Boom.
that would be
Novo podcast.
very
podcast.
interesting.
Novo convo.
You know, that's
I
not
have
a
a
That would be
feeling. I have a feeling she's not gonna like it. I have a feeling she's gonna be very confused about why people think it's good, but I might be wrong.
because I did tell her I was like, honestly, this is like Evangelion has like a huge impact on like a lot of things. Like that's something you have to because if anything, I talked about it in one of the episodes. I was like, if anything, you like we talked about. Oh yeah, that episode will drop next week. But I was like trying to explain why, like, because people are like, there's this chart about elitism, and they in the Evangelion was in there. I'm like, well, I was like, it's not exactly that. I'm like, that there's a reason why it's important though. Like I was like, it's important for a reason. And even though people are like, oh, it's viewed as elitist, I'm like, it sure, but in all honesty, it's has such an impact that it should. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm not surprised when I saw that. It was hilarious. But yeah, like
something
I was
that
like, yeah, no
it's still a
shit.
really good watch. So just try and ignore everybody who's being a poo-poo elitist about it, and just watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it
So
and make your own opinion,
Yeah.
and then realize your opinion is wrong.
this
Yeah.
episode drops the same day. You switch over to that episode. I said that same exact line.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm chasing for clout. I'll be like, guess me on that podcast, so I tear you all to shreds. Just 2 hours of me incoherently ranting about Evangelion, like every other Evangelion fan.
Oh, but that's not a bad idea. I do want to, but it was like I wanted to ask you because you're the one that I've always heard about, like because you like the series a whole lot, and I'm like, there's something about the Netflix one that it's like something's wrong with it, and I
Yeah,
don't
just
remember what it was, but now I remember.
don't watch the Netflix version. Find a different one.
Yeah, it's online. I'm sure it's somewhere online. Like,
You'll find it somewhere.
yeah, because I'm sure
But
people were like it's upsetting enough, like because like that's the thing. I think it's important to also watch like the OG version.
yeah,
Typically, is
I think you should
yeah,
just watch everything. But
yeah.
I guess the big thing, and this is mainly because I kind of understand the meaning of why the director wrote Evangelion, because it was like, oh, Evangelion, the original Evangelion is like, this is me, the director, when I'm like at the most depressed I've ever been in my entire life, to the point where my apartment was literally on fire and I was debating with myself whether to get out of bed and walk outside or just keep lying here. And then the way everything ends is the way the rebuilds end is like, some big catharsis coming from that.
Mm-hmm.
It was very good. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then
Evangelion good.
oh
Evangelion.
yeah. That's all I have to say. I've been just watching a few things kind of because I've been out for a while, so I gotta catch up on some things. Harrison, what have you been up to? Mr. I've been playing Final Fantasy.
Mr. also got called out by Ian's girlfriend one day where I didn't. Apparently, he's like, "Oh, how's your worm? How's Worm?" I was like, "I'll say it on here."
She,
I'm like,
it
she
sounds
read
like
it.
she
Yeah.
listened to the last episode where I was like, "Hey, this is the 6-month check-in, Harrison. Have you started reading Worm again, Mister? I will finish Worm by the end of the year, back in February."
Man, hey, I essentially like put it out there. Remember, I know I said something. I was like, I'm putting this out there just to like put it on the list. And now I'm like, oh shit, I am actually playing darts now at this point where I'm like, you know what? I blame Final Fantasy on this one. I'm at this phase now where it's like,
I would sacrifice every piece of Marvel fiction. I would sacrifice every piece of superhero media to make Worm. Like, if Worm could be on the big screen, I would do. If I probably can't say that.
What if they do it bad?
I was gonna say that. I was like, you sure about that?
So mad.
Like,
were you sure about that?
If nothing, if the DCU just evaporated and the MCU evaporated for an honest chance for someone to make a Worm movie, it wouldn't even be a Worm. It could not be a movie, a TV show. I wouldn't even be mad. I wouldn't even be mad.
Worm could not be a movie. That's true.
Yeah, I will say it has to be. It has to be TV format.
Or maybe we just get 30 movies.
Or that.
It's funny because it's like coming from a person that like follows comics like that. I was like, I don't think you want to wish that. We're already going through growing pains right now. I don't think it's gonna work.
If Worm had the same following and had the money that both Marvel and DC could have, there were unspeakable things I would do. Unspeakable things. Because Worm is so good. But instead, it's a free book. And Harrison cannot read a free book because he's too busy playing video games.
Facts.
Although
absolute facts.
He's paying for those video games right now, so
also
you do want to get what you pay for at least.
Our editor said it. It's like I'm putting in time.
See, that could be you, Harrison. You could have a smile bigger than your face.
Look how happy that Worm is.
And instead, you're a
I missed
gamer.
It.
You're a capital G gamer.
This is like,
dude, where did you even leave off?
It was like the how do I phrase it? It's not a tournament. It was like the challenge. I don't know how to phrase
challenge.
It's like it was like that group they started doing a hunt type of deal. Like it was the game throughout the whole city. With the
significant 9 characters.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess that with the Slaughterhouse 9.
I just couldn't remember the names.
That's why. Slaughterhouse 9.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a really good spot. In all honesty, I just got busy with
Worm is so good.
That
it honestly is like one of those. I am gonna call it out as the spot that I'm like, wow, why'd you stop there? That's the like it's like the other time with Science. I stopped right before that episode.
Yep.
I'm like that's the track record.
Ian, you weren't that far, right?
No, I think Ian was past me.
Yeah, I was past Harrison.
I swear someone stopped at Leviathan.
That was not me.
We all passed.
I think it was you, Harrison, for a while, and then you ended up you read past that.
Yeah. No, I was stuck because I was busy with like school. I had to stop there, and I was like, "This is really cool." And then I did get past that.
Because I'm at, where am I at? I am at. Well, I don't want to spoil anything for Harrison. Yeah, never mind.
Are you past Slaughterhouse 9?
Yeah.
Okay. That narrows it down to not
The
very
rest
narrow.
of the book.
The rest of the book.
I'm like, I stopped when we're basically finishing up the arc with the gamers.
Oh, okay.
You're finishing that up, yeah.
And you stopped?
Yeah.
You stopped there?
Yeah. Got distracted.
This is because I really do not like when people hype stuff up for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to keep hyping up Worm to you guys because I know if I keep doing that, you guys will finish and be like, it was okay. My Hero was better. But
even I wouldn't say that right now.
Monthly reminder.
Even I won't say that.
Everyone listening should read Worm by John C. McCrae, aka Wildbow. It is one of the top 2 pieces of fiction I have ever read.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not done with it, and I still think it's great.
Yes.
Worm is so good.
It's so good.
I will vouch that too.
It is not only my top 2 favorite pieces of fiction ever, it is the best superhero story I've ever read. I will say that to the masses.
Here's the thing, though, is going back to the what ifs, like if you could erase everything to get this on the big screen, I don't think this would exist without those things previously. Maybe not the current Marvel movies, but like
comics in general.
All the comics and stuff.
In general. Yeah.
It's one of the, because like George R. Martin has said on record, like, if Game of Thrones never got popular and my Wild Card series got popular instead, I wouldn't be mad. This is me to that. Like, if Worm just got popular and none of these other ones got popular,
wouldn't even be mad.
If I never got to see Thor and like Thor's arc as a character from MCU, wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, I get you.
Read Worm. It is amazing.
Now to actually what I am doing.
I'm not reading Worm.
I just realized, I'm like, what are we talking about? What I'm not doing. That's what
are you even up to, Harrison?
No, it's bad. It's funny because me and Ian are in the same boat right now. Like straight up fan. Like there's a point when I know for sure me and him were up at the same time because I saw him online.
Just doing MSQ though.
Like just no, there are times when like I'm better about like getting eighth occurrence than Ian. For instance. But that's not even a big task. But like I think it's like the funniest flex when I'm like, hey Ian, let's go over here. And I'm like, pop.
Yeah, just fly.
Biggest flex right here.
Going back real quick to the whole eighth occurrence thing. I was fine up until the locks or the lock. That area for eighth occurrence sucks. Like, no other area makes you like work as hard. That area blows big old dicks. It's awful.
It's funny because I'm like, I just got there and I'm like, oh, I can see why. I can see why this is bad. Lamau. I've just been playing that, and then also just like speaking of 4 kids, like random. I didn't know Shaman King was out. And it was I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this just because like nostalgia purposes. It's probably not gonna be as good. It's about as expected.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't finish it. I watched like 2 episodes. I'm like, cool. Like I'm like, all right, cool. Like it's like one of those things where I'm just watching with my fiance just to watch during dinner because she needs a break, and I'm like, here's like the few times that we can actually just chill together. And I'm like, because we both were just watching just as like because we would rather watch something else, but she doesn't have enough time, type of deal. So like we have like other times when we actually just binge through certain things, like Tokyo Revengers is really good. Cough cough. But Shaman King's one of those like we'll throw away, and we were like, okay, it's like it's something to put on.
So
No
goofy.
real attachment. I'm like low key watching. Like I didn't realize like our editor just been like switching back and forth, so it's really funny. So I'm like, oh, he went from Stormblood
Shaman King. Yeah,
But-
Stormblood to Shaman King.
Like if anything, I'm like, oh, cool. It's not like because that was like I will say it was like the first manga I bought because I thought I liked it was the first one I liked because I was like, oh, this is cool setting and all that. But now watching it, I was like, art style's weird. But is that just because like the standard? Is that just because the standard now is like a bunch of buff dudes? I don't know.
I think
can't tell anymore.
I think it's just weird. Like I remember watching the original cartoon on Saturdays,
Yeah,
and even back then, I didn't really like the way it looked.
yeah. It was
I just
definitely like
watched
a
it because
thing,
I was a kid.
but it was also, and I feel like there was something after or before. I don't know, or it was just it was something that was on. But if anything, it was like, oh, cool. This is like, it feels a little bit better, but also like it's just legit, just nostalgia at this point.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like I have no. It's not like I have ties, and if it's bad, it's bad. I don't really care. But so far, it's just like, okay, cool. Oh, like, and this is also me watching in like Japanese because obviously for kids was just English. And it's really weird. And you start realizing how hard 4Kids did it, and it's in like all the names do not match. I was like, who? What? Who is this? This is not. That's not his name.
Oh my god! Can we talk about what we just?
Can we talk about
Stone
that?
Ocean?
Bless.
I'm so excited for that. When? Hang on. When does that come out?
Isn't that
Ocean.
I love how we all just like.
It's like, wait a minute. Let's talk about Joe. Let's step
JoJo,
aside JoJo.
But JoJo though.
They even announced, what is it now? Part 9?
Yes,
like the actual manga.
Yeah.
Oh
man, JoJo fans,
let's go.
We happy. We happy right now.
But Luke's the legit JoJo fan.
So it's getting
the OG one.
It's getting debuted on Netflix in December before it even gets broadcasted in Japan. That's
before
wild.
At the same time.
Before, because Japan doesn't get it broadcasted at least until
Netflix pulled out all the stops, I think, to get this. And I think it's partly, what was it? Crunchyroll and who else had their like official merger?
Oh, Funimation.
Yeah, Funimation.
Yeah,
Funimation, Crunchyroll, like they were kind of, but it's like officially like we're the same company now. No, they recombined.
Crunchyroll,
or they
got bought out.
They're one company.
Yeah,
and the fact that Netflix. What's up?
Sorry, I'm just confused. Why? Because they have like 2 different streaming services. They have Funimation.
They're gonna consolidate.
Yeah, they're gonna consolidate. That's the idea. They're gonna.
It's like a process. Okay.
Yeah.
But like
it only just happened.
Like it happened maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like super recent. So.
But like, and then Netflix snags part 6. Is like, okay, they're trying to. They got the big flex right now.
Yeah.
This is a JoJo flex.
Because it's exclusively on Netflix, right? Is that the case?
It's exclusive.
Yeah. That's insane. They put money down for that for sure. That's crazy.
Have you guys watched the like mini series of Rohan?
With Rohan?
No,
I watched 2 episodes.
I keep going back and forth about whether I want to watch it or not.
I'm on the episode that I'm right before the episode of the reason why I even wanted to start in the first place was the rock climbing one.
Oh.
I'm like right before that, and I know it. I was like,
because I know Ian, you watched it and you liked it, right?
Yeah, I like it. It's
cool though. Like it's
weird. It's just very weird.
That's what we should be watching.
But I mean, JoJo is weird.
Why am I watching Shaman King? I should be watching that.
Like, get Shaman King out.
What am I doing? I'm on Netflix too. I'm like, wait, hold up.
Oh man,
I missed the part.
I can't wait for Stone Ocean.
Yeah,
I
that's gonna be cool.
the one after is gonna be, I think, the real. Well, no,
But that's gonna be like a weird. That's gonna be weird, isn't it? Because it's an alternate, is it not?
the first two. Well, I'm trying to remember. When is Steely Ball Run? Is that the next one?
That's the next one, is it not?
I
thought it
think.
Is 7th, yeah. So
Yeah,
if
7.
if Stone Ocean's 6, this is 7.
Yeah.
Or Steel Ball is 7. Yeah.
Is that
Steel Ball is something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one right after.
That and the one after is truly bizarre adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've heard from
That'll be, I think, the really weird parts to adapt. When they've already had some pretty weird stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I did enjoy them. I just
now that we're getting to the point where it's like, oh, it's about to be. It could be.
yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't really like Steel Ball Run,
Uh-huh.
but I guess maybe in hindsight, it's fine. It's just like this isn't what I expected.
Yeah.
Because of plot reasons.
Right.
To me, I just feel like we're so far gone that I just want to see what's gonna happen. Like I don't care if it's bad. I just want to see what happens.
Like, just
Ian,
keep
did you read it?
watching.
Did you read it, Ian? I forgot.
No, and I want to, but yeah, I just keep getting distracted by the other things. No, I haven't read it though.
Yeah. Same. I have 'em.
Unfortunately.
Straight
Yeah, I
up.
know. Yeah.
It's one of those like,
Do you have like? Would it be easy for you to
Yes.
email me those? Sick.
Should be
Let's
fine.
do that.
Yeah.
Are you talking about not legitimately purchasing
What are you talking
a
about?
piece of media
Oh, it's totally
on the internet
What?
where they're watching?
Oh, what are you
How
talking
dare.
Uh,
We're 3 completely legal individuals
yeah.
with completely legal means of accessing forms of media.
about?
We would
Confused why
Our
never
editor Jason, on the other hand, is super illegal though.
is a pirate.
I
Actually a pirate.
really wish there's ways for him to like put little messages on like the
Yeah, just like
he like talks, but we don't see it, but he like does like a quick side thing is like F you.
yeah.
But
Like the YouTubers who have their own editors.
man, we really are talking about things that I'm not doing because I haven't watched like all this stuff.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I've
What have you
not
been
done
doing?
much. Dude, this is
Final
great
Fantasy?
because all I have been doing is Final Fantasy, so it's just like
It's time to stop, sit back,
but I want to get
and
the
then-
Shadowbringers. That's a good excuse.
Luke does
that
like
you can-
That's the other thing.
Shadowbringers.
Shadowbringers is really good.
Dude, honestly, I'm just trying to get to that point, and then maybe I probably won't be playing as hard. I'll probably play some things occasionally, but then, yeah.
Because I was talking.
Oh yeah.
I was talking to I was kind of worried that we wouldn't finish Shadowbringers before Endwalker came out, but it seems like we're gonna finish before Endwalker comes out. So
Because Endwalker comes out in November, right?
Yep.
Or sometime like that.
November.
November.
If things are still on track, November.
That's
It's
the rate
just
we're
that
going. I think it's okay.
it's just that New World and Lost Ark come out before. But if we finish Shadowbringers, if we finish everything, like if we're done with post Shadowbringers before like October, I think we'll be fine. And then we'll see if we keep playing or if we're done.
It'll probably be one of those like I'll come back for expansions, probably type of deal. Which is like the original way he was like, oh
Yeah, like that's kind of what the design philosophy is.
Yeah. Like the fact that Yoshi P says that, I was like, you know what? I feel better. It's not as bad.
He gets it.
He gets it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, nothing else. I haven't done anything. So, if you guys, what time? Oh,
I think that's
I think if
everything I'm
anything, you
excited
guys got
about and
yeah.
everything I want to talk about.
Yeah. You guys gonna go see? Are we gonna go see Shang-Chi? I didn't realize it was out. I just saw like premiere pictures. Like, oh, it's out.
It was so funny because I was like, there is like when Ian was like, yeah, that's everything I'm excited about. I was like, do I mention Shang-Chi at this point? Does it derail again, or do we end the podcast here? And then Luke comes in with the hey. I was like,
Hey,
oh
Shang-Chi.
yeah,
I'd be
I
down
think,
to go.
I think it comes out in 2 weeks.
September
Not
3rd, right?
but the week
Is it?
after.
Oh, I
Yeah,
swear it was out already.
no. They've
Why
been
am I seeing premiere photos?
I don't remember.
Wait,
Yeah, there's premiere
oh
photos.
yeah.
Are you
They already
trolling
have,
me?
no, that they did, but it's not out yet. It's not officially out yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like premiered in like a
yeah.
like
a
an invite
private
only
festival
type
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of
Super excited
those
though.
things.
Can't wait to see. Like it's like they don't. I feel it sucks because I feel like they're not doing as much promotion on this, and it looks
Yeah.
really awkward because it's some people are saying, oh, it's like COVID, but then like the Asian community is like, oh, it's they're honestly pulling the race card, and like low key, it does kind of feel like that because I'm like honestly. I don't know because like it comes out in 2 weeks and I haven't heard too much about it. I haven't seen that much about it, and I think that's like if anything, I'm only hearing it from Simu's like account. Like I see it all over his Instagram and all that, but otherwise I don't see it anywhere else. And I see more what if, I see more Loki related stuff, but it's like this doesn't even pop up. I saw more Black Widow stuff than like it's just weird. I'm just saying like it's just weird to know.
Well, because does Shang-Chi also have a streaming release, or is it only in
No,
theaters?
it is only in theaters.
Okay.
That also.
I feel like that's probably a big effect of it.
Yeah, but you think if that's the direction they're going, you think they want to like try to push harder because you want to get box office numbers at that point.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, because it's I don't know, we're in that weird spot now where it's like we're so used to
I
having
never
like
actually
online release versus.
You didn't see this trailer?
I saw this trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the
looks
second one.
This is the second one.
Spoiler.
Cough, cough.
Dope.
Okay, so, well, I mean, I think September 3rd, right? September 3rd.
Yeah.
That comes out on a long weekend.
It does.
Because I think Memorial Day is that Monday, so maybe we go see it anyway.
Maybe.
Find out.
I'm down. I'm definitely down.
We'll talk about it after. But I'm hyped.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that movie.
Mhm.
The closer we get to it, I was like, I want to see it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like I was already more excited about this than Black Widow because I feel like this one's actually a situation versus like Black Widow is like a step back.
And I feel like the marketing is going to kick back up.
It probably will once it comes
now
out.
That like as the release date comes closer.
And it is probably like in parts of like COVID's a weird thing right now where it's like, do you promote people to go out? And I don't know. There's a lot of things I read online. I'm like, you know what, this makes sense. But it's like it's just something I can't like. I'm like, I've noticed it. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Other than that, that's all I got. I don't know about you guys though.
I'm not going to derail again. Let's wrap up.
Easy. It's food time, baby.
It's food time. All right, but yeah, thanks for listening. You can tweet us any topic suggestions, questions at SuperBoss Pod. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. But yeah, just let us know how we're doing. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.